Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Card is Going to Change. That's right, AIW's very own podcast. And my name is Alex Worldwide Keller, and I just want to tell you all about one of our great sponsors. That's right, Pollyanna DIY, PollyannaDIY.com, at Pollyanna DIY on Twitter, Instagram, and etc. And what Pollyanna DIY has to offer you, they have excellent original wrestling enamel pins, shirts, including the Extreme Roots 91 t-shirt. Checking my hair right now. I have some medium roots. Take care of that in a bit. That's right. They have it all. And wrestling promoters and wrestlers, if you're looking to get into the enamel pin game or t-shirts, Pollyanna DIY wants to hook it up. Now let's take it to the show. The reason you hit download, the card is going to change.
Hello once again, everybody. Thanks for listening to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, as always, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors that help us bring the show to you for free each and every week. Firstly, thanks to Angelo's Pizza. They're feeding us here as they always do while we record, and they, of course, bring pizza to you at our live events at Mount Carmel. If you want to try more of their pizza or anything else on their menu, it's all delicious. Head to Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. And thanks to Smart Mark Video, they record all of our live events. And if you want to relive any of those or watch them for the first time, you can purchase that on DVD or digital download from smartmarkvideo.com. And additionally, head to powerbomb.tv, sign up using the code ABSOLUTE, and you will get a 20-day trial for free. And then stick around and just keep watching the shows that we put out there from the AIW archives. And as always, thanks to Jack Prince, who helps take care of all of our printing and graphic design needs. They can do all of that and more for you, whether it be banners, t-shirts, business cards, flyers, everything and anything. For all that they have to offer, head to jackprince.com.
That's jakprince.com.
Ah, yes, that wonderful gruff voice.
Soothing dulcet.
Yeah, that is none other than Alex Worldwide Keller, one-time moderator of sorts.
Shorts.
There you go. We're also joined on this episode by the Bone Collector Dominic Guarini, and as always, AIW owner John Thorne. My name is Steve Guy. I am your actual moderator of sorts, and on today's episode, we will be recapping the Gauntlet for the Gold 13, which took place back in March 23rd at wonderful Mount Carmel.
That beautiful location that is not associated with any church at all at West 70th in Detroit.
Yes.
No, it's a church. It's not associated with any school.
Yeah, no school.
It is a part of the city of Cleveland, though, we found out.
So Gauntlet for the Gold, for those who don't know, essentially is our big show every year, kind of a Royal Rumble.
A Rumble Royale.
Rumble Royale.
There you go. Rumble. Sorry, a lot of people hitting us up for money these days. I should be extra cautious.
You want Jerry McDivitt to call us, Steve?
I can be extra cautious. Well, you know what? We're still waiting for that absolution money, so that's all I got to say about that. At any rate, fun show, as always. Our special guest that night was Jeff Jarrett, old Double J.
Very excited.
Very excited. He was a super nice guy. I had a blast with him. You know, we were running. I was running trivia to give away milk gift cards and whatnot. He was all about it, man. Just throwing down.
Well, initially I was trying to get somebody from New Japan, and that obviously did not work out. So, well, I guess technically I did get somebody from New Japan because I got Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Bullet Club member.
Oh yeah.
Club.
He did have those Bullet Club shirts. He's like, hey, brother, I just got a couple of these Bullet Club shirts. You know, he just loads up on them everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah.
Because, we worked out a deal where, like, we like bought him completely out. But he's like, hey, man, I found a couple of these Bullet Club shirts in my bag. You think I could, sell these? I only got a couple of them. I think he had like a whole like a whole run.
He never got Guitar Club shirts made, or did he? Oh, yeah. I'm amazed he never really came out with any Guitar Club shirts. Maybe he did. I don't know.
I don't know. We're just gonna have to check the TNA warehouse.
He was a lot of fun, and I was amused at how present of mind he was with everything that's happening in AIW. He's selling his T-shirts. Speaking of, and I'm sure this is what you're about to talk about.
Well, what I was gonna do is what I was gonna say is 2 days before.
Yeah, this is what I was going.
He calls me and he's like, he like fucks up his rib though. He's like, well, you know, anytime someone's like, you got to call, it's bad news. You know, whenever someone's like, hey, I got to call you on the phone, it's always bad news. So he's like, hey, I got to call you. So he calls me. He's like, you know, two things. One thing, I'm making it. The second thing is like, I got to be in New York. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Then he's like, oh wait, fuck, I just fucked up my own rib.
In the phone call?
Yeah. He like,
what do you do?
Because he was like, oh, I was trying to rib you about Sid, and I fucked it all up. But I said I was coming before I did my joke.
So day of, he's selling his T-shirts, and he keeps calling me over. He's like, say this for a deal. You know, they're $20 a piece. He's like, but 2 for $60 as long as this, 3 for $90 as long as this. And then he has me tell them 3 for $90 as long as the travel ban is lifted. That pops the crowd. Everybody loves the fact that old Double J
he knew all about it. As soon as he got there, he shook my hand. He's like, I want to thank you for calling the president before I got on the plane. He's like, everything went smooth.
He was a lot of fun to be around.
It is difficult to fly out of the South these days. We learned that from Sid.
As Worldwide has pointed out, we had a fortunate, good run of these legends that have been coming through.
Minus Sid. Who did make it to WrestleCon, by the way.
Really, the two masters of the powerbomb have been the guys that have dicked us.
Yeah, that is true. The white, what was that? That fucking photo on the beach. It's like Sid, Vader, and Colonel Robert Parker.
Yeah, Cheatham the midget.
So 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
No, so
that is true.
You got to talk on the mic, brother.
We have the Double J. We open doors on time, 6:00. He gets that meet and greet. Ran through. Good times there. Then we'll see him.
Yeah, I was a little worried he wasn't going to make it, though, with that phone call, though, because he's like, yeah, you know, I got to change my flight. I got to be in New York. I got to do this. I got to do that. He's a real mover and a shaker, this guy.
He's all over the place.
And then it's like, I wanted to try to get a podcast with him, but he's like, you know, I got a radio interview going at 3. Got another one going. He said, what time do I need to be there? And I was like 5:30. Well, he's like, you know, I got a radio appearance lined up on the phone, 5:45 to 6:05. And I was like, okay. So when do you want to come, man?
He's got his schedule lined up for like every minute.
He is
of the day.
And I talk to other people and they just say he's just nonstop on the phone doing business all the time.
That's insane.
Moving that fucking gold.
I saw him do some business too when he was first getting in the building because, you know, he's like over by the meet and greet table and he's like, everyone's coming up and shaking hands and saying hello. And then he sees Jock Samson from across the room and he's like, Jock!
Yeah, he's very excited to see Jock Samson.
Yeah, which, I mean, I guess makes all the sense in the world, but that was a fun interaction to see.
Yeah, it was like, I met him before, but I never thought that he would remember that. And he was just like, oh, I know you. I met you before. He's like, I met you here and here. Like, rattled it right off.
Yeah, you met him at Pritchard, right?
And then I met him at the Global Force show like a year before that.
Oh, yeah. Me and Flynn did ring crew on that one.
Yeah, you guys were the ring crew over there.
Was that the one at the ballpark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those 6-sided rings are a pain in the ass.
A little tricky for you, huh?
Not a fan.
Not a fan? Well, we'll keep it 4 sides over here.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, he was, you know, it went pretty good. I was pretty excited. You know, it's always good, like, especially, you know, you hear these stories of these guys getting sober, but you don't know if they're really sober.
Yeah.
And Double J definitely had a really crazy party rep. So, you know, you didn't know if it was just like, you know, for the internet or whatever, but he was totally with it like the whole day.
And you got to remember he is about to go into the WWE Hall of Fame
in like a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, he could have just completely big timed us if he really wanted to and just been an ass, but not
Double J, I will say, is probably the smoothest talking guy I've ever met in my entire life. Like he could talk you into anything, I think. I mean, you talk to him, you know, he's just with it and like a fast talking Southern, you know, business guy. Like,
and you guys came away with any Global Force gold though?
No, I didn't get any gold.
No gold.
No.
I think that's what he's always on the phone about, dude, moving that gold around.
It's a move.
Market up and down, you know.
I mean, where's Fort Knox?
Somewhere in the South, right?
He's also very supportive of that. Like, he pretty much like follows all of us now on social media, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. So as we go into the card itself, the show opens up with MJF and Dick Justice. MJF, this is his first show because it wasn't in Akron, which was in between this and the February show, where we find out he's Colt Cabana's son. So immediately he's just getting chided with that by the entire audience. And I don't know when that's going to ever...
I just want to say that as we're recording this show feels like it was a lifetime ago.
1,000,000,001 years.
It feels... I feel like I've... So much has happened between.
For you, yeah. You're on your seventh life already. You were
Let's
a
hope
cat.
not. Let's hope not. But yeah, so you're going to have to remind me because I'm going to have a very foggy memory on this.
Well, this whole series, fans were a big fan of this because Dick Justice does a search of MJF, finds some alleged narcotics. I don't know.
Contraband.
Some sort of powdered substance.
Some sort of substance on him.
I think he planted it on him, though, which he's corrupt police, man. What are you going to do?
Oh, don't get him going on that.
I just don't think MJF's that kind of guy. Maybe he is. I don't know.
Crowd goes wild. They love it. Just a fun match in general. And MJF showing that he's a versatile guy, right? That's probably why he's one of the more popular names on the independent scene. Don, you get to see him pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Max can kind of do anything and everything.
His name's not Max, it's MJF.
MJF, Maxwell, Feinstein, Friedman, whatever he wants to go by. I mean, he changes like every third week.
Cabana.
But MJF pretty much can do anything. Like, he's very versatile, like you'd said, Steve. He did the comedy here with Dick Justice, you know, and then if he needs to go out and have, you know, that kind of blow away indie match, he can go and do that. He's just got a lot of like great qualities to him that make him one of the hottest guys out there right now.
Yeah, he does a great job endearing himself to the AIW fan base. He's kind of...
I don't think he endears himself to them.
Well,
yeah, I don't think you used that word right there, Steve.
you're right. And
He's not very endearing. He's very hated. Hated is a good word.
He does his role well, you know?
There you go.
I think they hate him.
Where, in a time and world where...
They hate him.
There's not a lot of, straight heels...
They hate him.
Straight faces. They hate him, which is what he wants them to
Not
do.
endearing.
Which is what we want them to
Not
do.
endearing.
That's not endearing.
They hate him.
He takes the hate. I love it.
Erase the hate, everybody.
Rise above.
I'm sure he'd love to erase the hate and maybe sell some shirts.
Titus O'Neil, hard on the hand, that, you know?
Yeah. Kanye's.
Do you remember in the 90s when they really tried to get Squash It over? Do you remember that? Like, they'd be like, squash it. Be like, squash the beef. Squash the heat on the streets.
Vaguely.
They would like do it after In Living Color episodes.
Change the world, man.
I was thinking
Fatu.
today watching basketball, I was like, how come nobody fully says like slam dunk anymore? It's always just a dunk. A lot of stuff just gone by the wayside.
Endearing to the people.
Nobody's being endearing with the slam dunk anymore. Anyway, moving on, we roll into a 4-way tag match, which is the production with the Young Studs, Philly Marino Experience, and Duke Money, one of the newer tag teams, Jock Samson and Mance Warner.
I can't
Production was Danhausen and Eddie only.
I can't remember, but I know the Young Studs were added to this last minute. There were some changes on this show that I cannot recall.
Yeah, that sounds correct, and I don't for the life of me, like you said, it was feels like a year ago. I don't remember.
I know the Young Studs were like booked like day of.
Somebody else was supposed to be there.
Some things were shuffled around. I know that.
Yeah. Dom, you remember?
Yeah, this was kind of like one of your unannounced matches that you wanted to roll with. I think.
I know it was unannounced, but I know that things had to change.
Yeah, some things had to change, but I think this was mostly the way it was supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, because you might have put a graphic up on some form on like Instagram stories, but I think this one was pretty much the same. I think that 4-way later had some changes to it that were late.
Yeah, there was definitely some changes in that, but. Yeah, just trying out like a different combination of the production, Danhausen and Eddie only. You know, they're pretty similar in size and style, so
Yeah.
see how that would go.
And those are two guys, the two newest members of the production. People haven't seen them quite as much to this point.
Very endearing to the crowd, would you say?
The crowd does love the production, don't they?
I don't know.
Everyone loves face paint.
What do you? I don't like face paint. I hate face paint. I fucking hate it.
I'll save my pitch for later.
Oh, you got a face paint pitch?
No.
I was hoping you guys.
Yeah, really
I was hoping
do
you guys would become the Road Warriors next.
Yeah,
That would be a move.
the Weird Warriors.
But you guys have to ride like bicycles in like the '92 SummerSlam entrance, but bicycles as opposed to motorcycles.
And I have to eat a bunch of ibuprofen instead of a bunch of Placidils before I.
I mean, I
roll
think
down.
I think you might eat the Placidils no matter what, brother.
I'm not. That's not my scene, man.
I'm not even familiar what a placidil is. It sounds like a dinosaur.
Well, they were dinosaur-ass men, so they got to eat dinosaur-ass pills.
I think, speaking of the Road Warriors, I think this is the last match we see Eric Ryan with the hawk haircut.
That was a good look.
Yeah.
I want him to just grow the skullet out, if we're really being honest. No one's owning a skullet these days.
You should do it. You got the.
I have a full head of hair, Steve Guy. It's very endearing to me.
Shave it into the.
I'm not.
the Hogan.
That's
with
just
those
faking the
blonde
funk.
locks.
What? And then I have to wax it all the time. I have all the time in the world for this.
I mean,
This endearing Steve Guy.
I don't. Got some time on your hands.
I got no time.
You got no time?
I heard the soup business is about to slow down.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Then the security business picks up though, right?
Yeah. Other than we're just getting the leftover like horrible hippie shows, which I fucking just want to murder them all. You're not human, just so you know.
Well, all right.
If you're
then.
listening to this out there and you're a big fan of Fish or EDM, you're not human.
Okay. On to the
then.
next match.
Welcome back to the podcast world.
Yeah. And to the next
A
match,
little hungover.
we have
Anything special happen in this tag match? I've not seen
really
it.
production picks up the win. People still hate the Duke as he comes out with Duke money.
Did Philly hit his standing shooter or
Standing moonsault, yes, he did.
He did.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone hates the Duke, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot going on in this match at all times, but very fun.
I would say this is the night that the fans finally got to the Duke.
Yes, they did.
Oh, yeah, I would say that.
There's some harsh language.
Yeah. Duke has been reprimanded. He's been fined.
He's got the money.
Yeah,
So-
I don't, and he does.
The next match we roll into, Louis Linden and Eddie Kingston. Gear Eddie showed up.
We're just gonna throw this out there right now on the podcast, Steve. I will be conducting gear bag checks of Eddie Kingston, and I will be confiscating basketball shorts when he shows up from now on.
From now on,
I've said it once. I've said it 10,000 times. Those are wrestling shorts. They are not basketball shorts.
No, they're his excuse to not wrestle as hard as he does when he's in gear. I don't care what excuse he gives me. There is not a soul in this world that will tell you that Eddie Kingston does not wrestle harder when he has some sort of gear on, whether it be his Gary Albright get up from Bloodsport or it be his
That was good.
his Mad King.
You like the
get-up.
Gary Albright look?
He wore
it was
he
looking good.
Yeah,
he's going to go with that moving forward, I think, he said.
Just all singlet, right?
Yeah.
singlet and kick pads.
Yeah. He,
I don't know. We got to get the Puerto Rican pants back, I think.
Oh, I agree to that.
this was a good match, though. Another one of those, it just hard hitting. It's everything you expect.
I mean, Louis Linden always delivers, and I still don't understand why Louis Linden doesn't get more opportunities outside of AIW because, I mean, he's probably one of the most solid workers in all the Midwest.
We know bookers listen, like other promoters listen to this show.
Louis Linden is the guy. He's the guy.
Yeah. When you ask who's
If you want a
making noise-
guaranteed good match, it's Louis Linden against
technically
anybody.
sound, hands down. Yeah, I can't think of in the last 2 years a bad Louis Linden match. I said.
No, he delivers every time. That's why I just don't understand why he's not more places. He definitely should be. You know, he's especially in all these Midwest companies that are popping up. He's pretty centrally located in Michigan, so he can get
Yeah.
to anywhere.
So he picks up the win over Gear Eddie, but
Gear Eddie just couldn't get it done.
what a banger! What a banger that was.
A banger, endearing, very endearing.
The banger was very.
Endearing banger.
They endeared themselves to the crowd with an excellent match
And a banger.
and a banger.
A banger. It sounds very. It makes me uncomfortable when you say banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a word in your vocab.
Well, I didn't want to say. You don't want to say barn burner.
Colt Cabanger.
Barn burner.
Okay, next.
Do you like barn burner?
I like barn burner for you.
I didn't want. I didn't know that'd be
You're a
copy.
sports guy, Steve.
copywritten.
Barn burner works for you, I think.
Dom's getting pissed already.
Yeah. Welcome back to the podcast, Dom.
Hey, dude.
From downtown
Happy to
comes
be back.
Dom.
I thought you'd be more relaxed now that you're a drinker, that you broke straight edge.
Yeah.
I didn't even drink that night. All
I
my
seen you.
Bullet Orange was gone.
I seen you have a couple drinks about a month or two ago.
Oh yeah,
We switched roles. You're a drinker now. No, I'm a non-drinker.
my after making my promoting debut, I'm a big
Okay,
Walker
let's
fan.
promoting debut. You typed up a couple documents for me.
Hey,
He did have a whole hashtag going for him.
Yeah, well, someone's got to try to get over somehow.
True.
So the next match we go into is a 6-man tag. It is
Mystery team, remember?
they're correct. Joshua Bishop,
coming back to me
Chase
now.
Oliver, and Trey Lamar. We did know that because this comes from the Akron show, where members of the No Consequence team come out and help Josh Bishop as he's getting brutally beaten down by Josh Prohibition, his one-time hero.
Josh.
And we did not know
Who are you rooting for in that one?
Josh.
we did not know who the mystery partners would be for Josh Prohibition. Lo and behold, out comes to Infinity and Beyond. And we have ourselves a little...
What'd you think about this one, Steve?
I had a good time with this. I believe that... Was this the first match where Trey and Chase do the through the rope
Moonsault?
and the moonsault? Or was that...
They did.
I think they did
it
that
the show
in January.
before.
I think they did that in
Did
January.
that at Death Row.
Okay. But
But Chase didn't concuss himself once again, so
he did not?
He's on a-
kudos on this match.
That's a victory?
He's on a roll.
I think we're like 4 shows in a row, so
Hell yeah.
I think he's figured out his
Keep that
moveset.
brain healthy.
I think he's figured out if he doesn't do that fucking crazy DDT, he'll be okay.
or wrestle Dr.
Yeah.
Dan.
I think this was a good move, especially for To Infinity Beyond, to get him kind of outside of the tag title picture for a while, give him something different to do, freshen him up a little bit.
I think this helps solidify, that we're looking at Josh Prohibition as a heel here. Too,
No,
as a bad-
I don't think so.
'Cause people still hate To Infinity and Beyond. They have not gotten over the
People don't-
electrocuting Gringo Loco.
People don't hate Josh Prohibition though. It's more of like a veterans versus rookies thing, like shade of gray. I think.
yeah,
I think they hate to Infinity Beyond, but
definitely hate them.
but they're gritty veterans too. You know what I mean? So
That's why
like
people respect that.
people respect the veterans. Just like the soldiers, they respect veterans.
Respect the soldiers.
Love the troops.
Yeah, love the troops.
Oh, how about that national anthem?
Well, we talked about that last week.
Last week, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, many weeks ago.
Time doesn't exist.
So yeah, we're living in a fucking weird time warp on this podcast,
Yeah.
where time moves forward and backwards all at once. But no, I think this was and it's also good for the no consequences guys to get in there and work with more veteran guys and learn more, because I mean, you've heard it a million times if you've ever watched a wrestling shoot interview, but you're only as good as the person that you're working with, and you're only going to learn if you're working with somebody that knows more than you. So it's just part of the process of expediting these students into these spots, because I've been saying it for a long time. Look at the indies right now; they are super thin on any sort of like attraction type of guys.
Yeah.
Everybody and anybody who has meant basically anything has been signed pretty much at this point, other than a few select guys. So you got to get these guys. You got to get these guys the experience when you can get it for them, because who knows who's going to be around next month.
Well, we talked about the consummate professional that Josh Prohibition is, but throwing these younger guys in there with a Colin Delaney as well.
And there was a small window of time where he was going back, and then
Yeah.
that fell through. That's his story to tell, though. But you gotta, and a guy like Cheech, he's wrestled everybody and anybody for over a decade. So these guys have a lot of experience that they can help these younger guys out as much as give them a little tough lessons inside the ring too.
And they're the kind of guys too where if you pull back the curtain a bit as a match is being formulated, they're the kind of guys who are going to be like, no, why, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and
and if it goes bad, they're gonna light them up a little bit and teach them.
And then also let you know after the match what went wrong.
Yeah.
Colin and Cheech are amazing to wrestle with.
Yeah, you've wrestled them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of our best until recently.
So we'll get to that one.
Oh yeah. Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah.
So would you say worldwide in your experience that these guys basically are getting a seminar there that they don't even have to pay for?
Oh yeah. Paid seminar. It's great.
Yeah.
Paid seminar.
Those are the best
You get paid for taking the seminar.
Yes. As it should be. No, I still say these kids are getting paid way too early, but that's me.
Hey man, wasn't my decision. Talk to the
Pedro's
financial
a very
advisor.
nice guy.
Financial advisors. I say no money for the students, but
I'm so mad I'm getting paid.
you're mad.
Well, this leads us into intermission, Well, it will lead us into what leads us into intermission.
Old Dr. Dickhead comes out to the ring.
Here he comes. With
Double J comes out. Dr. Dickhead.
Dr. Dickhead with his stupid little headset. Coming
White
out
suit.
there. What's
Spitting
that?
his bull
His
shark.
white suit.
His white suit. Coming out there, telling everybody how great he is. And then he introduces Double J Jeff Jarrett because, according to the doctor, that's why Double J is going to the Hall of Fame.
Because of Dr. Dan?
Yep, that's what he says. That's what he told everybody. Brings out a nice little guitar. I believe he was going to gift to Jeff Jarrett, I think. And I think the old Double J wanted to sing a song with Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan was not having it.
Oh, so I'll give some people a little insight into this. When I was trying to book Double J, after, because I was going back and forth with the New Japan people, I was trying to get like Liger or like somebody crazy, and it didn't work. So I go to Double J, just because I've always wanted to get Double J and AIW like forever. This is the first time I've ever had to, in an email like response on booking somebody, I had to pitch creative. Like I had to give him a creative pitch in order for him to accept the booking or not. So I actually had to, like, instead of just book somebody for the meet and greet, I had to come up with like an angle for him or whatever for him to agree or disagree to. And this is what I came up with. This is my creative pitch right here.
So
Did you send him a picture of Dr. Dan?
No.
Are you aware of Dr. Dan?
No, I just said a heel. I just kept it playing with a heel.
Okay.
So when Dr. Dan gets crushed over the head with this guitar,
Idiot.
do you was that pitched to you or by you?
Oh, that was in the creative pitch.
That
Yes.
was in there.
Although somebody, the person who was responsible for purchasing the guitar, got like a fucking, the honky tonk man, Jake the Snake or whatever, fucing guitar they don't break.
That would have been
Didn't
Dr.
pull out
Dan.
the back braces.
That was
Yeah.
Dr. Dan himself.
Didn't new jack that thing up.
Said he he gimmicked it. He had it ready to go. Apparently did not do that enough because those of you
He
who
gets
are in attendance,
fucking kabonged, dude,
Yeah.
and that thing does not break.
you talk about concussions. It barely
Let's
gets
not talk about concussions.
Elbow.
Let's not say those things.
He
there,
barely
Steve.
gets his hand up in time.
He did get his hand up, which I thought broke his fucking arm.
Yeah.
Because that Double J goes, brother, this ain't gonna break, man. And he swung it, dude. He swung it for the fences, and
He did.
whew.
What made me laugh then is we bring it to Dan afterwards because he was like, I don't know what to do with it. You could just auction it off or something. I was like, dude, you got cracked with this thing and it's barely broken. I don't know. Maybe you have Double J sign it and you keep this? When's the next time you're going to get crushed over the head with a guitar by Double J, dude?
Next time he saves me.
Yeah, Double J had a whole pitch to come back about doing like guitar raffles. I don't know. Like it was like before he was out the door, he's like, hey, next time I got this idea, we raffle off these guitars. And he's just always business, man. He's
It's about business.
it was like I just couldn't help but laugh because he's not even. He just finishes his segment. He's already pitching his angle to come back
He
again.
had a
and
great time.
sell-
I mean, Rob Parker was like much the same way though too.
Oh yeah, they Southerners, dude. They always.
Yeah.
He was he did sing with the crowd though. They enjoyed a little karaoke.
Yeah, got himself a little practice for the Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah. A song that he doesn't actually sing, but that's our
What are
it
you
was still
talking
fun.
about?
Yeah, I think he like literally was just learning the words to it like recently.
But you figure at this point in time, like he'd have to have learned it.
I think he was kind of like hot about it when it like it got over last year,
Yeah,
and then like now he's totally embraced it.
that's the move.
I mean, that's that's just rumor and innuendo, but
All right. We leave intermission and go back into the show. We open up with a four-way, and this, Dom, as you alluded to earlier, we had to make some changes. It ends up being Tim Donst, Gringo Loco, Shane Mercer, and Nasty Russ from Jollyville.
yeah, I think Calvin Tankman I had initially in there, and then he said he could not do it for
this
whatever
is the
reason.
change in the tag match because you want to put Jollyville in the tag match, but Team Money.
Yeah, Team Money couldn't
be
do
there.
it, but Nasty Russ could.
But Nasty Russ could, so you decided to do the four-way, and then I think Donst was supposed to wrestle in a singles, but some kind of injury just pushed that, and it put him in the four-way then.
Yeah, so this is This is kind of the benefit of leaving some matches unannounced, though, too, because you can make these switches and the people really don't know about it.
Yeah.
It all looks like it made sense. This is Shane Mercer's last show for a while because he cannot do any more dates after this, which later on, like, he was booked to go, like, pretty strong in the Gauntlet, and then he told me he's like, I wasn't available for, like, the next, like, 6 dates that we had, so I was like, oh, I guess I got to change that.
Which is unfortunate because the guy is a beast. And for those people in the audience who had not seen him when he was introduced to them through AIW, I think people are wildly impressed with him. I know, shout out to Josh Welf, who was at this show in attendance, sipping on some beer in Rita's. It was his
Mostly
first
Rita's.
time seeing Shane Mercer, and he was in awe of him.
Yeah, Jay Welf he likes to party, that guy.
He likes to party and he likes to wear his Tracy Smothers merch. Even though he knows it's wrong. He's like, right or wrong, it's wrong. But AIW, he's always rocking that Tracy shirt. Bless your heart, Welf.
Yeah, those Virtual Pros guys, man, they're wild.
They do go hard.
Yeah, we had to make sure, since we knew that they were coming, to get as many different flavors of Ritas available as possible.
I kept looking over because they sit next to me, and I kept checking because the first half of the show, they did not have, I think, maybe one Rita, and I had to harass them, knowing that you stocked up hard on the Rita specifically for them. So,
And I specifically want those things out of my life because, spoiler alert, if there's leftover beer, it usually goes in my or somebody else's trunk that's going to the after party. And one of the darkest moments of my recent memory is about 6:30 in the morning. I'm talking to some people, and all that there is left is like a warm mango Rita, and I cracked it, and as tasty as those things are cold, they are just, I was thrown into a layer of hell that I was not ready for. It was like having the desert just puked into your mouth. It was horrible.
It's making me squirm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever drink a warm Rita, anyone, especially at 6:30 in the morning.
It's making me feel good about my not drinking future right now.
Getting on that sabbatical.
you thought your hospital food was bad. Try
Yeah,
a warm Rita, brother.
I tried to have a nibble of your hospital food, and that was terrible.
the desert getting spit into your
Just
mouth.
puked into your mouth.
That's about what the hospital food was like.
Yeah, how do you mess up JoJo's, man?
They messed up mashed potatoes,
They messed
man.
up JoJo's, and
They messed
also,
up chicken fingers.
oh my god, that Salisbury steak was a war crime. But
Did you take a bite?
I almost took a bite, and then I smelled it, and I was like, I eat a lot of really gross shit.
You can't even. It
I'll
smelled
go hard
awful.
on a gas station roller. I'll eat it like the $4 Chinese buffet.
Yes,
but
I know your
that
buffet.
hospital food was, you were right in your hunger strike.
Yeah, fucking right, I was.
There you go.
Poor Matt Justice. He experienced the bad of the hospital food about 5:30 in the morning.
Well, back to wrestling.
Yeah, that was a tangent.
We then go into first time anywhere match, which was mind-boggling to me that this has not happened anywhere. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams and DJZ. And this was a barn burner, John.
Barn burner. Barn burner merch coming soon.
Look, I had high hopes. This is one of
Rocking them,
those.
socking them.
This is
Pro
one of those
Wrestling
for
Key
me,
Star?
as a guy, like as the ring
Slap
announcer,
the porpoise.
sitting right there by the side. Like this is one of the things I see on paper, and I'm looking forward to. And at least for me, it didn't disappoint. Two different styles, but Hot Sauce, another one of those versatile guys that can really work with anybody, and so is DJ.
DJZ is he I think he gets kind of like like typecast as like just a high flyer or whatever, but or a lucha guy, but he's very technically proficient.
Yeah, and then Hot Sauce sometimes gets maybe typecast for just
Grappling.
grappling, yeah. But he can do a lot of different things too, and work with whomever. It was
a barn burner.
It was a barn burner.
Very excited about this one, were you?
I had a blast watching this.
The barns were blazing.
I saw nothing in the second half because I was nervous about my Gauntlet appearance. So
Yeah, I was stretching.
You were
in the
getting ready,
basement.
yeah.
I was working out with those fucking stretchy bands in the basement.
I mean, we had
So you're just doing thousands of burpees, Hindus.
I was getting ready, man.
three.
I was trying to psych out the field down there.
As fun as the Gauntlet is, and as much that happens in there, we had three fantastic singles matches on this card between with Louis Linden, Eddie Kingston, this one with Hot Sauce and DJZ, and then our final singles match, which is for the absolute title, Nick Gage and Matthew Justice. And
Which I heard was an insanity.
absolute insanity. Dom, how did you describe this?
I mean, it's kind of like an old ECW main event from like '97, probably like in the vein of like Tommy Dreamer and Raven, but with less with no run-ins, and it was like one of those deals where it was Matt Justice, who's this big ECW fan, mixing it up with another guy who wants to go that style, and they just beat each other up, and it's just tons of fun.
This match honestly happened because Matt Justice told me the show was on his birthday, and he said it was his dream to wrestle Nick Gage. So that was his birthday present.
That's what we do in AIW. We make dreams come true.
Telling stories, making dreams come true.
That's right. He climbed all the way up to the top of the bleachers and jumped off the side down onto
Which
Nick
I
Gage.
think he was trying to get up to that little window
He
crease,
was.
but
He
he
wanted to
couldn't.
get up to the window. He was asking me if we had ladders that were tall enough, and I'm like, I have no idea, dude. I don't think so, dude. Like, we saw one ladder. I'm like, I think that's the tallest one you got. It doesn't look like it's going to make it up there. Plus, it's not going to be sturdy just leading up the
And there
wall.
were some really disgusting table encounters.
Yeah, we had some tables that weren't breaking.
Well, he broke the little Japanese table Nick put through
A pile driver.
Nick
To the
put
floor.
Justice
That was
through-
crazy.
Yeah, through the
Yeah.
little Japanese table. So those little tables that don't usually break, that one broke. But just about every other table they tried in this match, it did not break, including the one where Nick just powerbombs Matt onto his head pretty much on that table, which is the end of the match. Which also, a little known fact about this, Nick Gage wrestled that match with pneumonia.
He's fucking...
Patient zero.
Yeah, he's probably
Maybe this is where it started.
He had told me that he wasn't feeling well, but he didn't know at the time, I think, that it was pneumonia.
Yeah, well, no, because the story that I was told was he went to the hospital the day he was supposed to leave for New Orleans and WrestleMania weekend, and they said, we need to keep you. You have pneumonia. And he said, no, I'm going to New Orleans, and went and left the doctor and got on a plane.
That's insane. That was literally the worst 2 weeks of my life.
Well, Nick Gage is not a doc caller.
No,
Yeah, he's not a doc
that's what he
caller.
wants.
His shot caller, brother.
Shot caller, not a doc caller.
Shout out to the fans yelling for my safety when they did go through the little Japanese table, but don't worry, guys.
Do you think they really meant it? Do you think they really wanted you to be
I don't
safe?
listen to them.
I mean, you are really endearing.
Although I did get thrown from my chair by Matt Justice. A lot of people were worried about me after that.
Matt Justice is a wild man.
It's fine, guys.
He's out of control, and then
Even Matt
the birthday drinking was in full effect after the match.
Oh, boy.
Probably more so than
Poor
should have been.
Funhouse. Poor Funhouse.
Poor Funhouse.
They put up with a lot.
They do put up with a
He had a
lot.
rough...
And then
he had a good after
He never made it
party.
to the after party. He just
No, he didn't.
Last time I saw Matt Justice that night, he was sitting on the floor of the bathroom after puking into the urinal.
I left him there. I left him on the floor of the bathroom to go upstairs to get him water. And the next thing,
He needed more than water, man.
next thing I know, people came
Pedialytes,
up.
electrolytes.
He needed an IV
juice.
of just pure vitamins.
I was like, let me at least go get you water, dude, and somebody to help because I don't think you're going to be able to walk back up the stairs. And I don't remember if it was Bev I sent down or
You just need to send the Bev down for that.
who it was. And then next thing I know, Matt Justice is out of commission. Rough go. But
He
hell,
survived the match. He survived the match.
Yes.
He survived the match. He didn't survive the after party. And that's how we like to do things at AIW.
Happy birthday.
And then that takes us into the main event of the evening, the Gauntlet for the Gold, and leading off with the Duke, which, of course, pleases
Nobody.
everyone
Nobody.
to the fact that they get to yell and boo at him because it pisses them off. People like to yell. People like to be angry at the Duke. So they were happy with that.
I don't think the
but
Duke.
not happy
I don't
with
think the
him.
Duke understands that he is like a, he's like a performer in which they're yelling at the Duke. They're not yelling at.
Yeah.
They're not going to his tax job and yelling at him.
Right.
I think he takes it a little too personally sometimes.
Yeah, I think he forgets.
I think he I don't think.
I sent him to an old Anderson seminar.
I don't think the Duke knows where Duke stops and the Duke starts. I think he's having trouble with that line.
If you don't like the fact that they're yelling at you as being the Duke, then
I really think he thinks in his head he's a babyface, though.
skill. You think so?
Yes.
Why does he keep doing these heel things?
I think he is like what you said the MJF is, and he thinks he's like endearing in the fact that he's like playing this. He's like playing a good role as a heel, but they really like him.
Such a great job. He thinks everybody should.
Yeah, he thinks
him.
they're just playing along with like the act.
Yeah,
I don't think he understands that they really do like don't like him at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
He thinks he's a babyface in his head.
Well, then everybody gets pumped because as much as they hate him, out at number 2 comes John Thorne.
That was me, and I was very excited. I'm very nervous as well.
Now, could you tell people why this took place initially? Because now
this was a litmus test to see if people would care if I wrestled the Duke at Absolution.
They did,
but that's. I said, "All right, Duke." I said, "I'll give you about 90 seconds." Because that's probably all I got. To see if people would care about this, and if they care, I'll get ready. I'll take like the next couple months and I'll get ready and I'll be ready to go for a match. I didn't think I was going to get pneumonia in between that and all kinds of shit, but that was initially why it was a tease that we were going to come back to for Absolution. And man, I beat the shit out of the Duke.
He's bleeding from his ear.
It does not look nearly as good on video as it felt live.
Yeah.
Because I hit him so fucking hard with that lariat. So hard.
He started bleeding from his ear from that, right?
He was bleeding from his ear. I don't know. But he motherfucked me so bad when he got to the back. Because he's like, don't you know wrestling's fucking work, man? What the fuck? I was like, hey, man, I don't know. This is what you signed up for. This is how I've wrestled everybody I've ever wrestled.
Lufisto was fine with it.
Yeah. I mean, I hit him. I wish that like that lariat felt like I fucking could have taken down a mountain. I threw it so hard, but it does not look nearly as good on video. I don't think, in my opinion, it does not look as good as it felt live. And I know I gave him a back elbow in which I threw my whole body into him, and I did like a full 360. Because I was trying to kill him. I was trying to put my elbow through his heart.
Well, you didn't, unfortunately.
So then, Jock comes out and eliminates me, and that's, that was about the minute and a half that I had promised the Duke.
And that was that?
And I was tired.
You were done?
I took one bump, and for a week and a half, my body felt like it was melting. I think it was just injuries that I probably got from the Lufisto match.
Yeah.
That just, I don't know, were settled or something. And that I took one bump, and it was my whole body was ready to just die. For a week and a half, I was limping and couldn't walk. Thought I needed a cane.
Jesus. Worldwide, you'd make your way into the gauntlet.
I had a lucky number 27. I had politicked to get the luckiest
Rumble Royale number.
Yes, and didn't turn out in my favor. Just came out a House of Fire on one Magnum CK. Also had a fun promo for the DVD on the show where I apologized to Filthy Tom for his injury because you see, one time a long time ago, me and Dom, we were rolling doing the jiu-jitsu. Fun fact, I'm not good at jiu-jitsu, but by God, did I squeeze the hell out of Dom's head for 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I thought I was going to be suffocated by the smell of cigarettes for those 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's... Why do you think I smoke, man? Because of you smokophobes. But yeah, I squeezed, and I turned that head of coal into a diamond. And then my arm got tired, and he choked me out. But either way, had I not squozed your head so hard, maybe you wouldn't have had that injury. So once again, apologies to Filthy Tom. I will never do jiu-jitsu again because I don't know my own strength, and I don't have the technique.
Fair enough.
But, either way, came out of House of Fire on that handsome son of a gun Magnum CK. And then some deviltry went down, and I got ejected.
Ejected.
Thrown out. And then I tried to get back in. Potato was like, no, you can't go back in. Shoved him a nice 5 or 6 feet.
You must not have endeared yourself to the Potato.
Yeah.
Did not endear myself to the Potato, but then I endeared myself to the beer stand, where we had an amazing placement for Party Never Ends. They were bartending all night.
Celebrity bartenders.
And then when Party Parker got called, he came straight from the beer stand to the ring.
Yeah.
And did the dang thing.
And then he exited.
Big Twan do his full entrance.
Big Twan did do his full entrance. Well, actually,
Poor Big Twan, man. He was he fell victim to the second surprise entrant in the gauntlet.
The second surprise entrant in this was none other than Super Oprah. When was the last time Super Oprah appeared in an AIW show?
At least 6 years.
Wow.
I mean, probably way longer than that, honestly. Probably closer to 10.
And then here comes young Big Twan.
And this is partially on me.
Of course it is.
Big Twan is...
Well, no, we all booked it.
There's a great funny part into this, but you tell your...
If anybody listens to the Big Twan podcast, Big Twan is very... in his ways, we'll say, with
he has a lot of ideas about
with the things that are in his head and the way the world works. And
we're breaking him down bit by bit.
He's not
I don't think
of the world.
And I don't think Big Twan has ever seen something like a Super Oprah before.
I don't think so.
He did one time at Mega, and
yeah, that's what we're saying. He's very uncomfortable about the whole ordeal. That's the nicest way to put it. Is he's very uncomfortable.
We're making progress with him. Don't at him, but yeah, we're working on the boy, and it's all good.
It's just like WWE breaking down the barriers in Saudi Arabia.
All right, well, no, let's not go that far. But I think much less money for that.
I think one of the funnier parts of that is you actually see Big Twan get eliminated by Super Oprah, and that actually wasn't supposed to happen. Super Oprah just wung Big Twan so hard over the ropes, and poor Big Twan tried to save himself, but the effort was futile.
Well, he also received a hell of a kiss beforehand, which he sold like being shot with a gun full of rattlesnakes.
Because I don't think...
He was convulsing.
I don't think it was a cell, brother.
Yeah, there was no cell. It was like... Oh, yeah.
Full of rattlesnakes might be one of my new favorite things.
Just fucking like, he just was being possessed by every demon on this earth. But yeah, and that's potentially and partially on me, because I was in the bathroom before the show, stretching, doing my deal, doing some other deals, and Super Oprah was getting ready. And I was like, really looking forward to seeing you and Twan work together. And Super Oprah was like, why? And I was like, well, Twan has some things about him. And Super Oprah was like, oh, really? Getting like medium hot. I'm like, we're working on him. It's okay. But, and yeah, so Super Oprah definitely went in a little harder on Twan than...
Super Oprah don't play around. I mean, there's a lot of people that never experienced Super Oprah before in the crowd, and they were like, what the fuck?
It's absolutely intense.
She don't play.
I would say that was a highlight of the gauntlet for a lot of people, though. Crowd loved that moment. They reacted. Wrestling's about moments, right?
Making moments,
right
telling stories.
They had some moments.
Super Oprah, very endearing to the crowd.
Very endearing to the crowd.
Endearing.
That's right. One of the other surprise entrants was the return of Facade.
Straight back from the Great Khali School.
There it is. He came back. Everybody enjoys seeing him. And then, Dom, let's talk about your time in the gauntlet.
Where I entered, number 11? I think it was at 11. And
sounds about right.
I don't know, man. You drew the number out of the bingo tumbler.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bingo tumbler was downstairs the whole time from bingo, probably likely the prior night at Mount Carmel. Came in at number 11 and lasted all the way until the final four. And then Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, eliminated me with his little cool power driver boy thing he does. It was a good time, minus the almost blowing my knee out portion of the match.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was...
Oh, I remember that.
Relatively early. Like, you... I don't know if a lot of people noticed it, but, I mean, you went probably about half your time in that match?
No, it's about like a quarter, but essentially I just went for a stop, and I left my leg, when I jumped, extended, and when I came down, I hyperextended my knee. My favorite moment of that would be Eddie Kingston looking at me and yelling, "Dom, you dumb motherfucker, it's a battle royal."
It's a Rumble Royale, guys.
It's a Rumble Royale. That's what I told Eddie as I'm writhing in pain. Just had to move it around. Once I got it going, we had it. But it's a good time. I mean, because my gauntlet appearance last year was all of the John Thorne 92nd boys. So getting in there for a while was fun. It's just fun working with all the people. And overall, led us down to the Final Four, which would have been myself, Tracy Williams, Magnum CK, and MJF. Right?
There you go. And then some things happen, and we end up with our gauntlet winner, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. So
Hot Sauce is going to Absolution.
Going to
baby.
Absolution.
Another Gauntlet for the Gold down.
And there it is.
Another one in the books.
We already talked about the after party. That was eventful. Thanks to the Funhouse again for having us. and for putting up with us, of course.
Shout out to Jessica.
Shout out to Jessica and Stash, who runs that joint. Anything else we missed here, guys?
Well, I'm just going to say this is nothing if not an educational podcast, and the word of this podcast is endearing. And I looked up the definition online, and endearing, inspiring love or affection. Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Affection.
kids at home, don't tell if your parents give you shit about listening to wrestling podcasts, don't tell them that you don't learn nothing, because you learned something.
There you go.
That's a good way to end it.
See,
I'm terrible at endings.
I was going, you guys will let me finish. I was going with the affection route. The affection he wants from the
affectation.
crowd is the hatred. And
Well,
he gets that.
that's not affection,
He gets
though,
that.
brother.
It is
It's hatred, man.
It's an affection.
It's literally the opposite of affection.
Affection?
An affection.
Cane punch.
Cane punch.
Well, that's the end of this one. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks to John Thorne, Dom Guarini, and Alex Worldwide Keller. My name's Steve Guy. We'll talk to you next week, everybody.